WCBS News Time 2:58. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. Here's Jim Feldman.
Thanks, Michael. We do see a crowd starting to gather Times Square on the south side of it, Broadway and 43rd. There's a protest scheduled for 3 o'clock, so expect closures and expect delays traveling through that area. Better news on the Henry Hudson Parkway on the northbound side. It does look like that earlier accident investigation has been cleared away. In Brooklyn, northbound side of VQE, there was a disabled vehicle by Tillery Street. That's been cleared. Watch for slowdowns as well. Eastbound side of the Staten Island Expressway as you're getting on to the upper level of the Verrazano Bridge. Still very slow. Lower level to Brooklyn still closed for ongoing road work. And here's the weather forecast.
A pleasant start to the CB, partly cloudy and comfortable overnight. Low 57 in the city, closer to 50 at outlying areas. Turning out mostly cloudy tomorrow, high 73 in the clouds, and a shower or two tomorrow night, low 63.
Partly cloudy this afternoon, 68 in Garden City, 64 in Bridgewater, 67 in Syosset. We're also at 67 degrees here in Lower Manhattan, under a partly sunny sky. Good afternoon, I'm Michael Wallace.
This is WCBS and WCBS-FM HD2 New York.
Mayor de Blasio and Governor Cuomo are discussing a possible curfew for New York City. Soho residents are pitching in and cleaning up after a night of looting and vandalism there. Governor Cuomo says he'd consider sending in the National Guard, though he feels the NYPD has enough cops to handle the protests. Hundreds of complaints were filed against the NYPD by New Yorkers this weekend. President Trump tells governors most of them are weak in dealing with the protesters. 67 degrees right now in Manhattan. Good afternoon. I'm Linda Lopez.
More than just the headlines. This is WCBS News Radio 880.
It's 3 o'clock.
CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans.
I'm Matt Piper in New York. On the streets of Minneapolis this afternoon, calls for peaceful protests and no more looting from the brother of George Floyd.
Let's stop thinking that our voice don't matter. And vote. There you go. Not just vote for the president, vote for the preliminary. Vote for
Wearing a face mask with the image of his brother's face on it, Terrence Floyd spent several minutes of silence at the flowers and other memorials that have sprung up to honor his brother, who died 1 week ago in police custody. Since the death, there have been days of protests, many of which have turned violent. White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnary speaking moments ago.
Clear that what we are seeing on America's streets is unacceptable. Violence, looting, anarchy, lawlessness are not to be tolerated.
CBS's Natalie Brand says Washington, D.C. implementing a curfew beginning at 7 p.m.
Graffiti on the Lincoln Memorial and glass on the sidewalk show just some of the damage from violent protests overnight. Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser toured the city this morning.
I'm very angry that people would destroy their own city, or people will come here and destroy our city.
The demonstrations in the nation's capital were peaceful throughout the day as thousands marched against racial injustice in America.
Correspondent Cami McCormick says more federal personnel are being sent to cities and states to help quell the violence.
The Bureau of Prisons is sending riot teams to Miami and Washington, D.C. FBI Field Office, Customs and Border Protection is dispatching agents and
People consider plans for possible evacuations.
I'm Peter King. A AAA survey says nearly a third of all Floridians are more concerned than usual about this season because of the pandemic. More than 4 in 10 who were asked say they'd be less likely to evacuate, while nearly 3 in 10 say they definitely wouldn't leave, all because they're afraid they'd catch the coronavirus.
Federal health authorities have received reports of nearly 26,000 nursing home residents dying from COVID-19. They say the number is likely to go higher. On Wall Street right now, the Dow is up 116, NASDAQ up 69 points. This is CBS News.
These are challenging times, and Rocket Mortgage is prepared to help. If you need mortgage assistance, contact their team 24/7.
Radio.com station. 67 degrees. We've got sunny skies right now in Manhattan. Can get to a high near 74 in the city. WCBS News Time is 3:03. Mayor de Blasio says he's considering a curfew for New York City.
To date, we have not believed the curfew is the right strategy, but the commissioner and I are going to talk about it as
session today. We'll discuss it over the next few hours. I'm also going to have a discussion with Governor Cuomo about it. We have to look at it as an option, but that being said, we have not made a decision. There are advantages and disadvantages, to say the least, to instituting a curfew. Previous nights, I think, were different than what we saw last night, so we're weighing that right now.
The mayor also spoke about the arrest of his daughter Kiara during a protest on Saturday night. The mayor said he was unaware of the incident until someone leaked the information to the media. He said he's spoken to Kiara and she claims to have followed police orders when she was arrested. He said he believes her and called her an incredible human being. Governor Cuomo says he'd consider sending in the National Guard to deal with protesters in the city. WCBS's Peter Haskell has more.
The city has plenty of cops, but if they can't keep a lid on the protests, the governor might call in the National Guard.
I don't know that the NYPD isn't big enough. I don't think that's the problem.
He's troubled by what he's seen.
Some of the actions of the NYPD have exacerbated the anger.
My reaction, the governor should have been out there seeing the bricks thrown on our heads, and I've been hit with bricks.
Chief of Department Terrence Monahan tells WCBS his cops' lives are in danger. They're facing violent anarchists who are well organized and armed. At the governor's office in Midtown, Peter Haskell, WCBS News Radio 880.
Hundreds of complaints were filed against the NYPD by New Yorkers this weekend as the protests over the death of George Floyd continued. According to the Daily News, 430 complaints have been filed with the Civilian Complaint Review Board since Friday, including when a police SUV drove into a crowd of people in Brooklyn on Saturday. Protesters had blocked the vehicle and were throwing projectiles at it. Another complaint was filed when a cop shoved a woman to the ground during protests on Friday. Soho residents pitched in and cleaned up after a night of looting and vandalism. Our Sean Adams has been speaking to people who are trying to address the mess.
It was heartbreaking for Soho residents to watch looters pillage their neighborhood.
I understand the struggle, I understand the protest, I do. The way that George Floyd was murdered was absolutely inexcusable.
Megan Loveland sympathizes with peaceful protesters.
Doesn't mean all cops are bad.
She believes hoodlums, troublemakers, outsiders, petty thugs left Soho in tatters. Her response was to grab a garbage bag and join the cleanup.
I couldn't help but want to just pitch in any way I could, and if that meant cleaning up, a mess that wasn't mine, I was all for it. That's okay, Because the point of the matter is right now is we all have to be united, and it's, some people are angry, it's understandable, and some people are trying to combat that anger with love and patience and understanding. That's what we're trying to do here.
In Soho, Sean Adams, WCBS News Radio 880.
WCBS News Time, 3:06.
Now more than ever, news about your money matters. Businesses that may open first when the time comes. But listen for money news at 25 and 55 on WCBS from the Sunway Gas and Power Business Desk. Sunway Gas and Power. Power your universe with the Tri-State's energy supplier, Sunway.
Your employees and customers have new expectations when it comes to cleanliness. Cintas has the products and services you need to feel prepared. A trained Cintas technician can apply disinfectant and sanitizer spray to common surfaces. And we'll keep you well stocked with gloves, face masks, hand sanitizer, and disinfectant wipes. Professional cleaning supplies and PPE. Just a few ways Cintas can help you keep your business safe. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
In uncertain times, PGIM stands by the clients and communities we serve around the world. Our 1,300 investment professionals are ready with the guidance and support you need. The insights of PGIM are available. PGIM, the investment management business of Prudential. Find out more at pgim.com. That's PGIN.com.
WCBS News Time is 3:08. It's time for traffic and weather together on the 8th. Over to the traffic center and Jim Feldman.
Good afternoon, Linda. We've got reports of a tractor trailer on the Grand Central Parkway. That's not supposed to be there. It is delays on the eastbound side as you're getting towards the Kew Gardens interchange. It's in the right lane, so watch for that. LIE on the eastbound side, delays as you're approaching 80th Street with a crash that we see on Waze. Delays also Brooklyn bound on the Brooklyn Bridge exiting at Cabot Plaza. They start on that common ramp from the FDR on the Manhattan side. And in Brooklyn, also both directions, the BQE by Cabot Plaza. Watch for those delays. Eastbound Staten Island Expressway still jammed up between Clove Road and the Verrazano Bridge. Lower level to Brooklyn closed for road work. Everybody is still forced to the upper level. Also on the Staten Island bound side, you've got construction on the ramp coming from the Belt. You've got construction on the ramp coming from the Gowanus, so slow also heading to Staten Island on the Verrazano Bridge. Crowds are gathering in Times Square with a demonstration scheduled to be starting right about now. It is starting to get heavy. Also, you've got a demonstration in Queens to be aware of and police activity in Elmhurst. It's 92nd Street and 53rd Avenue where there is a large group forming there. Next traffic update less than 10 minutes away in WCBS.
Let's get a check of our weather forecast now. We head over to the Weather Center to meteorologist Bob Larson.
Partly cloudy tonight. We cool down a low of 50 in our areas.
How are you? 22. Yep.
The city is now 63 in Danbury and 71 in Caldwell. 67 in Midtown or low tonight. 57. Linda?
WCBS News Time is 3:10. The MTA has installed hand sanitizer dispensers at some subway stations as the city inches closer to a reopening date. But riders are saying that 3 dispensers were placed at the Atlantic Avenue Barclays Center station. According to New York Post, one commuter said 2 of them were not working. Another commuter said they would stay empty. The MTA is giving an announcement that it will be testing different types of dispensers. Resumed a Stella service today on the Northeast Corridor. The railroad is running 3 trains in each direction. Amtrak says it has put several new safety measures in place, including more cleaning of trains. It's also waiving a variety of fees in case riders need to make changes to their plans. WCBS News Time is 3:11.
For all of our contest rules on WCBS 80,
have been postponing appointments and procedures due to fear of going to the doctor's office. Your cancer testing, screening, and treatment should not be put on hold. At Perlmutter Cancer Center, all of our facilities have instituted strict guidelines to keep you safe, including personal protective equipment for anyone on site, temperature screening, frequent cleanings, less crowded spaces, and testing of all our staff. Patients can also access their Perlmutter Cancer Center physicians through video visits, and anyone with concerning symptoms can speak by phone or video with a member of our Suspicion of Cancer virtual clinic. Cancer hasn't stopped during this pandemic, and at Perlmutter Cancer Center, neither will we. To schedule an appointment, visit nyulangone.org/cancer.
Season later this week, while Major League Baseball and its players remain far apart on a deal. But there is no postseason, where the league makes most of its television. WFAN baseball insider John Heyman reports the Yankees are expected to release some minor leaguers today. WCBS News Time is 3:13.
I've always wanted to learn another language, but every time I try, it never sticks. With simple words and phrases, and soon you're putting those words into a conversation. Each lesson takes about 10 to 15 minutes, and they're all really different, which keeps things interesting. Created by real language teachers, they built
German and more. It just takes learning a new language.
Back at our fashion choices, but in between flashbacks of bowl cuts and dad jeans, our memories are faded. Adam Baseball, and I'm Nick Mocko, and we're the founders of Legacy Box. Legacy Box is the easiest and safest way to preserve your family memories. Here's how it works. Fill Legacy Box with your outdated media. We professionally digitize and send them back on DVDs, thumb drive, or the cloud. Look, those forgotten home movies, VHS tapes, film reels, and photos are degrading right before your eyes. Experience peace of mind and enjoy reliving the glory days. Join more than 500,000 families who have already trusted Legacy Box. Save your memories today. Visit legacybox.com/gift And for a limited time, get 40% off your order. That's legacybox.com/gift for 40% off. legacybox.com/gift.
Rest assured, when RTK Environmental Group performs an inspection at your home or workplace, we are wearing PPE to keep you safe. Visit rtkenvironmental.com.
You're never more than 15 minutes from the big stories on WCBS.
Good afternoon. I'm Linda Lopez. Three things to know at 3:15. One, Governor Cuomo and Mayor de Blasio are thinking about putting New York City under a curfew, but the mayor says it would not start tonight. Two, Governor Cuomo says New York City can begin its reopening 1 week from today, June 8th, though he warns new infections sparked by the protests could force a second lockdown. And three, Governor Phil Murphy announces New Jersey will enter stage 2 of reopening in 2 weeks.
Our restaurants will be able to welcome diners to outdoor spaces, and our non-essential retail stores will be able to welcome customers back inside, effective Monday, June 15th.
Salons and barbershops in New Jersey will begin to reopen on June 22nd. Gyms will follow after that. Governor Murphy cautions, though, that we must be smart by practicing social distancing and working from home when possible. He says we still do not have a treatment, but we have learned a lot about preventing the spread of COVID-19. 27 New Jerseyans died in the last day of COVID-19. New Jersey leads the nation in the amount of patients in the hospital per capita due to the virus. Long Island is expected to hit the benchmarks needed for a Phase 2 reopening next week, and officials are urging Governor Cuomo to allow restaurants to offer outdoor dining. WCBS reporter Sophia Hall has the update.
Restaurant owners and their employees are struggling financially, says Hempstead Town Supervisor Don Clavin. Clavin is one of a number of supervisors here on the island calling for the governor to allow outdoor dining at restaurants in Phase 2. Not Phase 3.
It can be done. The restaurant owners have thought this through with limiting capacity outside, separating the tables, and they're ready. And now they need the state to give the approval.
He says restaurants support so many people.
It isn't just the owner. It is the... It's the...
Sophia Hall, WCBS News Radio 880. Governor Cuomo warned today that protests could create a surge in coronavirus infections.
Don't snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. We're talking about reopening in 1 week in New York City. And now we're seeing these mass gatherings over the past several nights that could in fact exacerbate the cold, could potentially
Also, Board 18 at
Conditions in Broadway and 4 are both blocked with that.
In Hudson Valley, clouds and sun with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm in the area, especially during the afternoon and evening. High 86 in the city, closer to 90 in some areas west of the city.
protection and employees just 2 to 1. Power your business. Visit tmobileforbusiness.com to learn more.
If you're looking for tires that can handle difficult situations on roads today, choose Michelin tires for ultimate peace of mind. And if you're looking for Michelin tires at the guaranteed lowest price, then go to Town Fair Tire, where you'll also get more free services for life than anywhere else. Michelin tires at the guaranteed lowest price and more free services for life. Ultimate peace of mind, because nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
You check things all the time, like your email every 10 seconds, or your ex's Instagram. But what about checking something as important as your credit? Well, Discover makes it quick, easy, and best of all, free. Discover is now offering FICO credit scores, the score used by 90% of top lenders for free, even if you're not a customer.
Is ongoing. Route 9 in Fishkill still continues with that. Is on the eastbound Crown Steam storm.
63 in Monticello. It's
The headline. City. With 331. Commissioner Shea conference.
First and foremost, the mayor said until now, he at the table now. The mayor said he's having discussions about a curfew with the police commissioner and the governor. No decisions have yet been made. And by the way, well, they did. It was this is for their restraint, but the superior officer had escorted that cop into
Protest. What did you learn about that?
That arrest. Nothing about it until the police union apparently told a reporter, then called his daughter and had a discussion.
WCBS reporter Rick Lamb with those protests, both peaceful and otherwise.
Outbreaking to Hall, maybe even outbreaking. That was with a large. They eventually got all the way to the Barclays Center. Organizers hands with police leadership to make arrests, some violent. So the one thing I've learned covering these is that you always need to be aware of your surroundings. The mood can change on a dime.
So true. Now, what strategies are you seeing from the NYPD and
the police were taking set up any barriers or section to find their route smaller and smaller faction. My experience, what I'm seeing is that the smaller the group is, the emboldened they feel to break the rules themselves however they want. The only way they'll get attention is through these more drastic measures. It does seem evident that a lot of the agenda changes when it gets darker. You get less of that organized message and more people out just to cause trouble or watch people cause trouble.
Don't understand why. Because our way works great for us, but it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you provide? Cookie cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie cutter portfolio.
And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any.
Investors want steady cash flow and safety. NRIA is making special accommodation to help at this time. Today, investors are extended a higher than normal 10% monthly payout return from our real estate-backed Class A buildings fund. You'll receive steady 10% monthly payments to your bank account, have real estate backing you, not just paper assets, and obtain returns with bonuses targeted at 18 to 20. Now, offer is over. Just call 201-210-2727. That's
PR getting out of the ramp eastbound as you're getting into the interchange. The tractor trailer not supposed to be there.
guys, as the day goes on, we could still get to 73, but a couple of showers might be possible as we get later into the day tomorrow night. For Wednesday, much warmer, becoming humid, times of clouds and sun. High could be near 88 in the city right now. Partly sunny skies, it's 67 degrees. WCBS News Time is 340. CBS News Special Report. Floyd's brother pleads for peace as the family commissioned autopsy shows Floyd died of asphyxia due to neck and back compression.
They don't move. You know why they don't move? Because it's not their stuff, it's our stuff. So they want us to destroy our stuff.
President Trump nation's governor is calling them weak for not cracking down harder on rioters. CBS's Natalie Brand with what his 2020 contender was doing today.
Former Vice President, presumptive nominee. WCBS News Time, 341.
Hey, if you don't know me, it's probably overdesigned and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Some crazy things. Like fireworks, millions of
The 114 Yankees are at the end of the month.
Don't put your health on. All units have undergone deep cleaning to ensure safety. There's surgery in fear of COVID-19.
Your work, your kids' schools, plus at-home residential customers, taxes apply. See Optimum.com for details.
And gemstones. Superjeweler.com. 15 minutes. Barack Obama says he supports.
A vigil scheduled for 7 o'clock tonight in Plaza. That is just Jim Bruckner. Everybody getting off of there. Delays also continue on the westbound Cross Bronx to the outbound GWB. It's about 20 minutes to a half an hour.
Privacy online without any trade-offs. With one download, you can search and browse privately, avoiding trackers all for free.
A little less humid on Thursday, but still warm. A mix of sun and clouds at a high of 85. It's now just 63 in Yorktown Heights, 71 in Newark, 67 in Midtown, the low of 57. Linda.
This just into the WCBS newsroom.
Governor Cuomo has just announced that a curfew will take effect in New York City tonight. He's announced that the curfew starts at 11 p.m. tonight. It will go until 5 a.m. So again, Governor Cuomo confirming there will be a curfew for New York City tonight. WCBS News Time. Well, Governor Phil Murphy announced this afternoon that New Jersey will enter stage 2 of its reopening 2 weeks from today.
Our restaurants will be able to welcome diners to outdoor spaces and our non-essential retail. Furthermore, our salon, barber later reduced capacity. So we're going to come back. And I said a second ago, continue to be a phased-in restart. Protocols in place, or to ensure harder. On the other hand, the harder these measures.
That's a result of identity-driven targeted marketing. Shares rise, so do makers of police equipment such as body cameras and those who make home security systems. With morning news at 25 and 55 on WCBS.
Just announced a curfew for New York City. It takes effect at 11 tonight. The NYPD will also double the number of officers on duty. President Trump rails on the nation's governors, telling them to get tougher with protesters. He says many of them are weak. A lifting of New York City's coronavirus lockdown starts 1 week from today. At the closing bell on Wall Street, stocks are higher. The Dow up 98 points, Nasdaq's up 64. Partly sunny, breezy, and 60 now.
WCBS News Radio 880 with Dr. Michael and underlying health issues and dysphagia or stress. On the streets of Minneapolis today, Floyd's brother calling for peace in America and for an end to the looting.
Educate yourself! Educate yourself! Don't wait for somebody else to tell you who's who.
The riots and looting at night have caused a black cloud over the mostly peaceful protests around the country during the daylight hours. WCBS Radio's Sean Adams with the cleanup now underway in New York City.
A spasm of lawlessness, vandalism, and thievery from Union Square down to Soho. Sidewalks crunch with shattered glass. There's vulgar graffiti everywhere. High-end bootboxes, naked mannequins.
Last week, random acts against law enforcement undermine America's socialists is now up to outside. For a positive cases in this close.